Have you ever noticed how some people move through chaos like water flowing around stones? While everyone around them drowns in stress, their voice stays level, their hands don't shake, their breathing remains steady, almost deliberately slow. You've seen them. Maybe you know one. Maybe you are one. The person who speaks in the same measured tone, whether ordering coffee or receiving devastating news, who never raises their voice, never slams a door, never lets the cracks show. And here's what's strange. We admire them and resent them in equal measure. We call them composed, mature, emotionally intelligent. But sometimes, late at night, a question creeps in. Is their calm real? Or is it the most elaborate performance of all? Because here's the truth about perpetual calmness. It's far more complex, far more heartbreaking, and far more human than you ever imagined. For many people who are always calm, their composure isn't a skill they learned, it's a survival strategy they developed. Maybe they grew up in a home where emotions were dangerous, where a parent's mood could shift like weather, sunny one moment, thunderous the next. In environments like that, children learn something critical. Your safety depends on your ability to manage not just your own emotions, but everyone else's too. You become the calm one because someone had to be. You become the steady voice because chaos was already taking up too much room. And that calm becomes part of your identity, how you survive, and eventually, who you are. But constant calm isn't the absence of emotion, it's the management of it. Think of emotion like water. For most people, emotions flow freely. But for the perpetually calm person, they've built an intricate system of dams, channels, and reservoirs. The water is still there, all of it, just redirected. Research in neuroscience shows that emotional suppression actually requires more cognitive resources than emotional expression. When people suppress emotions, their amygdala lights up just as intensely, but their prefrontal cortex goes into overdrive. Staying calm isn't effortless, it's exhausting. Imagine holding a conversation while simultaneously solving complex math problems in your head. That's what emotional suppression feels like neurologically. You're fully present, fully engaged, and fully working to keep the dam from breaking. And you're doing it so smoothly that no one notices. And here's the paradox. The people who seem most in control are often the ones holding on tightest. When you're always the calm one, people start to need you to be that way. And slowly, without realizing it, you've been given a role. The stabilizer, the grounding force, the person who doesn't get to fall apart because someone has to hold it together. But roles become cages. Attachment theory gives us insight here. People who become perpetually calm often developed what's called an anxious avoidant or dismissive avoidant attachment style. They learned early that their needs wouldn't be met, or that expressing needs created problems. So they adapted. They became self-sufficient, contained, calm. And the tragic beauty of this is that it works. It really does. Until it doesn't. The body keeps score. When you consistently suppress emotional expression, stress hormones accumulate. And you might be calm on the outside, but your body is running a marathon on the inside. Research shows people who habitually suppress emotions have higher rates of cardiovascular problems, compromised immune function, and chronic inflammation. The calm comes at a cost, paid by the body in ways the mind might not acknowledge. But the psychological cost is even more profound. When you're always calm for others, you can forget how to be messy for yourself. You become so practiced at regulation that you lose touch with the raw, unfiltered experience of emotion. You know you're sad, but you can't quite feel the sadness. You understand you're angry, but the anger never quite reaches your throat. Over time, you start to feel like you're watching your own life through glass. Present, but separated. There, but distant. Psychologists call this alexithymia, difficulty identifying and expressing emotions. And while not every calm person experiences this, many do to some degree. The very skill that makes them so steady in crisis can make them strangers to their own emotional landscape. And in relationships, this creates a heartbreak. Intimacy requires vulnerability from both sides, but if you've spent your whole life being the witness, never the vulnerable one, that kind of intimacy feels impossible. Mirror neurons, those parts of our brain that allow us to empathize and connect, they work through shared emotional experience. When someone cries and we feel moved, when someone laughs and we smile, that's our mirror neurons creating connection through emotional resonance. But when one person is always calm while the other expresses freely, the mirroring becomes asymmetrical. The calm person reflects back care, understanding, wisdom, but they don't reflect back their own need, their own pain, their own fear. And slowly, without meaning to, they create a subtle distance. Your partners say, "I feel like I don't really know you." Your friends wonder, "Do you ever need me the way I need you?" And you think to yourself, if you knew how much effort it takes to be this calm, you'd know me completely. This composure is my vulnerability. But the tragedy is nobody sees the effort. They only see the result. Let's go deeper into what's actually happening in the mind of someone who's perpetually calm, because this isn't just about suppressing a few inconvenient feelings here and there. It's an entire psychological architecture that's been constructed brick by brick, often starting in childhood. Think about the moment-to-moment experience. You're in a meeting and someone criticizes your work unfairly. Most people feel a flash of anger, maybe defensiveness, perhaps hurt. These emotions rise to the surface immediately, visibly, but for the always calm person, there's a split-second process that happens so quickly, it's almost imperceptible. The emotion arises, it absolutely does, the anger is there, but before it can reach your face, your voice, your body language, there's an interception, a lightning-fast evaluation. Is this emotion safe to express? What will happen if I show this? What's the strategic response here? And all of this happens in milliseconds, automatically, without conscious thought. It's like having a security system in your mind that screens every emotional impulse before it reaches the exit. And over years, decades, this system becomes so efficient that you forget it's even running. Here's what's fascinating. Perpetually calm people often develop what psychologists call intellectualization. They translate emotions into thoughts. Instead of feeling angry, they analyze why the situation would logically produce anger. Instead of experiencing grief, they understand the psychological stages of loss. It's not coldness, it's translation. They're not disconnected from their emotions, they've just learned to process them through the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, rather than experiencing them through the limbic system, the feeling brain. And this creates a strange paradox. They can be incredibly emotionally intelligent about other people's feelings while remaining somewhat blind to their own. They can read a room perfectly, sense when someone needs support, know exactly what to say to calm someone down, but ask them how they feel? And there's often a pause, a searching, a reaching for words that don't quite land. I'm fine. I'm okay. It is what it is. These aren't lies. In the moment, they genuinely believe them. But beneath that cognitive assessment, beneath that intellectual understanding, the body is telling a different story. Let's talk about what happens to the body when you're always calm, because your nervous system doesn't distinguish between suppressed emotions and absent emotions. It only knows activation.
When you experience a stressful situation but maintain external calm, your sympathetic nervous system still activates. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure rises, cortisol and adrenaline flood your system. All the physiological responses that prepare you for fight or flight, they all happen. But you don't fight, you don't flee, you stay calm. So where does all that activation go? It doesn't disappear. Energy doesn't just vanish. Instead, it circulates through your body, looking for an outlet it never finds. Over time, this creates what researchers call allostatic load, the cumulative wear and tear on your body from chronic stress. This is why perpetually calm people often struggle with seemingly unrelated physical issues, tension headaches that won't quit, digestive problems that doctors can't quite explain, chronic fatigue despite adequate sleep, back pain with no clear cause. The body is trying to express what the mind won't acknowledge. And here's where it gets really interesting. Some research suggests that people who chronically suppress emotions actually have a dulled physiological response over time. Their bodies become less reactive, which sounds good until you realize it's not true calm. It's numbing. It's like turning down the volume on all sensations, not just the uncomfortable ones. You lose access to the full spectrum of physical experience. Food doesn't taste quite as vibrant. Music doesn't move you quite as deeply. Even joy, when it comes, feels muted, like you're experiencing life through a filter you can't quite remove. Now let's talk about what happens in your relationships when you're the designated calm person, because this creates a specific dynamic that most people don't consciously recognize, but everyone feels. When you're always calm, you become the emotional container for everyone around you. People bring you their chaos because they know you won't add to it. They share their anxiety because you'll absorb it without reflecting it back. They lean on your stability because it's reliably there. And on the surface, this feels good. It feels meaningful. You're helping. You're needed. You're valuable. But here's what nobody talks about. Containment is a one-way transaction. You hold space for others, but who holds space for you? When you never show the full weight of what you're carrying, people don't know you need support. They assume you're fine because you always seem fine. They don't offer help because you never appear to need it. And slowly, a subtle resentment can build, not toward any specific person, but toward the role itself. You become tired of being the strong one, exhausted by the expectation that you'll always have it together, frustrated that people see your calm as evidence of ease rather than evidence of effort. But you can't say this, because saying it would break the very image that makes people feel safe with you. So you stay silent, and the cycle continues. There's a particular kind of loneliness that comes with being perpetually calm. It's not the loneliness of being alone, it's the loneliness of being surrounded by people who don't truly see you. Because when you're always the grounded one, people relate to your function more than your full humanity. They see the stability you provide, the wisdom you offer, the calm you radiate, but they don't see the complexity beneath it, the uncertainty, the fear, the moments when you're barely holding it together. And part of this is your doing. You've become so skilled at presenting composure that it's made it nearly impossible for people to see anything else. You've trained everyone around you to expect a certain version of you, and deviating from that version feels like breaking an unspoken contract. So you show up calm even when you're not. You offer reassurance even when you need it yourself. You hold space even when you're the one who needs to be held. And late at night, in the quiet moments when you're finally alone, you might wonder, does anyone actually know me? Or do they just know the person I've learned to be? Because no one can sustain this forever. There's always a breaking point. Sometimes it's dramatic, a sudden collapse that shocks everyone who thought you were unshakable. The calm person who has a panic attack, the stable one who can't get out of bed, the together one who falls completely apart. And when this happens, people are often more scared than supportive. Because if you can break, what does that mean about everyone else's safety? You were the immovable object, the reliable constant.
Your breakdown isn't just about you. It threatens the entire emotional ecosystem that's been built around your stability. But more often, the breaking point isn't dramatic. It's quiet, gradual, a slow fading. You don't collapse. You just stop caring as much. Colors become less vivid, experiences become less meaningful, you go through the motions of your life with competence but without genuine engagement. Psychologists call this anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, but for perpetually calm people, it's often broader than that. It's a generalized dulling of all emotional experience. Not depression exactly, but not vitality either. A gray middle ground where you're functional but not fully alive. So if you're the person who's always calm, here's what I want you to know. Your composure is not your curse. Your ability to regulate, to ground, to stabilize, that's a gift, a real one. But the question isn't whether you should stop being calm. The question is, can you be calm and connected, composed and vulnerable, strong and human? Because here's what research on emotional granularity shows. People who can both regulate and experience emotions fully actually have better mental health outcomes than either extreme. It's not about choosing between calm and chaos, it's about integration. What would it look like to let someone see you uncertain? Not falling apart, just uncertain. To admit you don't have the answer. To say, I don't know, without immediately pivoting to reassurance. To let your voice shake a little when you talk about something that matters. These small moments of authentic vulnerability, they don't diminish your calm, they humanize it. They transform it from a wall that keeps people out into a bridge that lets people in. And I know what you're thinking.
But if I let go even a little, everything will fall apart. That's the fear, isn't it? That your calm is the only thing holding everything together, that if you express the full weight of what you carry, it will destroy you or overwhelm everyone around you. But here's the truth. The people who truly love you don't need you to be calm. They need you to be real. They need to see the effort it takes to maintain your composure, because that effort is where your true strength lives, not in the appearance of ease, but in the honest acknowledgement of difficulty. Your calm has served you, protected you, helped you navigate storms that would have capsized others. But you don't owe it to anyone to be calm forever. Sometimes you're allowed to be the river itself, flowing, changing, occasionally flooding, always moving. Because silence is not emptiness, it's control. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is let go of control. Just for a moment, just long enough to remember what it feels like to be held instead of holding. Your calm is beautiful, but your chaos, your mess, your unfiltered humanity, that's beautiful too. And you deserve to experience all of it.